How's everybody doing? Let me adjust this, get this moved. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. It's a great day. Um, any day we're in the kitchen is a great day because that means we're cooking, we're getting ready to put something delicious and amazing and nutritious in our body. Or maybe we're doing something that's a little snack and is not so nutritious. But either way, the fact that you're making it and you're in the kitchen is always a great thing. All right. I want to welcome I want to welcome you to the Everything Vegan channel. All right, my name is Ed Harris. I am happy to be here and I'm happy to show you how to make one of the most sexy Cajun dips ever. All right. Now, before we jump into what we're about to do today, let's go over the rules. First rule is to have fun. Get a notepad, a notebook, take some notes, and remember there's a replay so you can always come back and watch this and the many videos that I have up on this channel. All right. That's the first thing. Two, I want you to click on the follow button. All right. Give me a follow. So this way I know that what I'm doing makes sense and you guys are digging it and you're loving it. And that also makes me feel good. And I know you want me to feel good, just like I want you to feel good. That's why I come back here every week and I bring you nothing but delicious demos. All right. So those are the two rules I have. All right. Now let's jump into this. First things first, I wanted to do my mayonnaise here with you so you see how easy it is, right? And what you're seeing right here on the left side of me is the base of my mayonnaise, right? This recipe is actually done for you beautifully on Kitsch, so you can check out one of my previous streams where I show you how to make this exact mayonnaise. All right, it's super delicious, super easy to make. You literally put everything into your blender and you blend it up, you drizzle in your oil, which is what we're about to do right now. All right, because I wanted my mayonnaise to be fresh. I wanted me to make it. I didn't want to buy from the store, just so I can show you, right? Right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you're here checking out the Everything Vegan channel. So I have to bring you the goodies. Like, you have to know how easy it is to make these things. All right. So I have my mustard, my milk, my lemon, my vinegar, salt and pepper, all that good stuff in there. The last thing I'm about to add in right now is my flax seeds. All right. And by the look of it, you see how it looks? Yes. So this is because it's been sitting, right? Having a good old merry time together, right? And I like to pre-mix my flax seeds and my water and just kind of let it sit. The two of them become merry and they become this beautiful gelatinized liquid, right? Just very thick and very viscous. And that's what we want because that's what's going to help stabilize and keep our mayonnaise from breaking and give it that really whipped look and feel that mayonnaise has. All right. So all of that in the blender. We turn the blender on. All right. And we give that an initial blend just so it can whip everything up and pure everything and keep it nice and smooth. Because we don't want to start adding our oil to this right now because there are lumps and there are things in there that are not fully dissolved. And we want to make sure all of that is a nice cohesive base before we drizzle in the oil. Because think of the oil as your finishing, right? You don't want to have to overwork it because that's when separation and all that starts to happen, and we don't want that. All right, that won't look good. You know what I mean? So, you ready to make some mayonnaise? Check it out. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have mayonnaise. All right. I'll take out a spoon so I can actually show you our whipped mayonnaise. Right? See? I'll put it. Here we go. Look at that. Right? See? Nice and jelly. It keeps the shape. Right? The form is right there. Yum. Now, because we just made this, of course, it's a little soft, which is 100% acceptable and expected. Now, what you do is after you've made your mayonnaise like this, you put it into a container, you transfer it, and you let it sit in the refrigerator for a couple hours, right? That's the best case scenario. You let this sit for a couple hours, and it will definitely turn into what it's supposed to be, which is a beautiful mayonnaise. All right. And I'll tell you a little joke. When I was in St. Lucia, I didn't have my Vitamix, right, which was a total bummer because I love this machine and I wish I took it with me, but it might not have made it because it would have probably been in the same suitcase that didn't make it with my other heavy equipment. So the blender that I had there, I tried to make mayonnaise, but because the speed, the power of the machine was not as strong as this, it gave me a loose mayonnaise, right? It tasted good, but the consistency of it was a little thicker than heavy cream, which was really disappointing. But it's all I had, so I couldn't really do anything but use what I had, right? So equipment is key. All right. You want a high speed blender if you're gonna make mayonnaise. Like it has to be super high speed. All right. And Vitamixes are amazing for that kind of equipment. All right. So the recipe for our Cajun mayo is about a cup of a cup of mayonnaise. So I'm gonna just put that in here. I like to puree a lot of things. You can do this recipe without pureeing it. And I think even the recipe that I put together, I just kind of whip everything in a bowl, but I want to whip it. I want to whip it because I want to blend everything and make it really nice and cohesive. Like sometimes my kids are very funny when it comes to certain textures and like they don't dig whole grain mustard. And we have whole grain mustard in here. So by me pureeing everything, it's gonna kind of save me and they're not going to realize that it's whole grain mustard, but they're very big on taste, so they might still taste it. So let's see how much we can hide, you know what I mean? Okay, so my jelly mayonnaise, I'm going to put this into the refrigerator so it can set. All right, now we have everything we need in here. Okay, I'll put this back over there for now, and let's get everything for our ready for our actual dip. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna go with garlic, minced garlic. We're gonna do some horseradish, right? If you can get fresh horseradish, go for it. It's amazing. Our mustard seeds, and these are whole grain mustards. You can they come by different names, fancy mustard. And if you can't get this particular kind of prepared mustard, not to worry. You can just take yellow mustard seeds, brown mustard seeds, soak them in a little bit of vinegar overnight, and you'll pretty much have the same thing tomorrow. But give it 24 hours, right? So I would do about, if I did a tablespoon each of mustard seeds, I would do a tablespoon of vinegar. You don't need a lot, right? You just need just enough for the seeds to soak up the vinegar and get soft, all right? And then get a little nice and jelly. Okay, lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, always fresh, especially when you're doing dips and stuff like that. If you're in a pinch, you can't get to fresh, then I suggest using the bottle stuff, but it's coming with a whole bunch of citric acid and all of that it's not really necessary because the whole point is making this mayo from scratch, right? Otherwise you can just go to the store and buy the mayonnaise, throw a few spices in there, and you're done. You know what I mean? We're trying to do this the best way possible. So it's super healthy, clean, you know, the best ingredients for you, right? So this is Worcestershire, okay? Vegan, of course, because original Worcestershire has anchovies and all kinds of stuff in it, right? So we don't need any of that. All right. Now, parsley is optional, which is right here. I like to put it in because it pops, it gives a nice freshness to the dip, and it looks pretty as well. In here, I have my New Orleans seasoning, right? You can use New Orleans seasoning, which is available on my wife's on my website, Knife and Spoon. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, New Orleans seasoning is available on the website, right? The website is called knifeandspoon.com. All right. You can get seasonings from there, or if you have a blackened seasoning or a Cajun seasoning at home, you can substitute that. All right. Next, I have cayenne pepper or any kind of spicy pepper will work, ground pepper, of course. And then last but not least, smoked paprika. I love cooking with smoked paprika. It gives color, it gives flavor. All right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up together. All right. And I'm going to sprinkle about half in here. And then what we would normally do is we would take our mayonnaise, mix it in here, and you would be done. And that would be it, right? Super simple, super easy. But since I said my kids are a little funny, I'm talking softly because they're not too far away. I don't want them to hear. We're going to put all of this into the blender and really make a smooth Cajun. So you can do this and have it be grainy, which is totally fine, because most adults won't mind a grainy dip. But, I have 3 children and I'm always cooking with them in mind because the whole idea is that they are going to eat, right, what I prepare. So I'm going to put all that in the blender, close it up, and then we're going to just buzz this for a second. And that's it, right? Let me adjust this. See what that sees. How about that? Oh, it's so finicky sometimes. All right. So we have our dip. I'm just gonna scrape this. And remember, when you make fresh aioli, mayonnaise, anything of that, any kind of spread, any kind of dip, it's gonna always be a little loose in the very beginning, unless you put a lot of oil in there and you're making your aioli from scratch. Because aioli from scratch is just a fancy French word for mayonnaise, right? And depending on how you make it, it's going to be loose. All right. And you can definitely make this thicker, right? By doing different things. One, we can add some sea moss gel in here. This will totally thicken this up. And I actually just made some this morning. So, this is another way to really make healthy, good tasting food. You know what I mean? So let me grab some of that gel so I can show you because we're actually going to be working on CMOS gel and different applications to use CMOS, coming up soon. So I just made this morning. This is 100% CMOS gel. This CMOS is actually from St. Lucia. All right. When I was over there for a month, I met up with a CMOS farmer, slash harvester, and I went and checked that whole thing out, and I brought back some amazing CMOS. So that's what's there, and I'm going to talk more about that, at the end of the month, right? But yeah, we're gonna you see how it's nice and firm and it's set up. This is literally sea moss and water, right? But of course, there's an application to get us to that point, right? Which is what I'm gonna go with you later. So this we can either put it back in the blender or we can just mix it up like this. But this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Now all I have to do is add my yummy, my parsley. Once the parsley's in, we're gonna add the rest of our spices, right? Because after all, we are making a sexy Cajun spice, so we need to make sure that it has some heat and it has a kick to it, right? So you see the color, that's what we need. All right. Now we just put this into a container and we will be good to go. Just transferring it to something smaller. But you see, the color of this is like real nice red. It's bright. It just looks amazing. All right. Now let's taste. Mm. Super simple, really tasty. It has a nice kick to it. You get the freshness from the lemon, from the mustard. It has a nice lingering note, and just really tasty, really clean, really simple. Um, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? Our Cajun is done, right? Super easy, right? It's the perfect dip. And once this goes into the refrigerator and it sets, it's gonna be even better. It's gonna be able to stand on its own. And this is something you can do for your parties, for your kids' sandwiches, something for them to dip, toss this, use it as a dressing, so many different applications, right? We're right into a glass container, right? Put my lid on, and this is going in the fridge. For dinner, for breakfast, if we're gonna do a sandwich, we can use this as a spread. For vegetables, there's so many different things we can use it for, but it's a super easy application. Would you like a taste, ma'am?
How did you know?
I just know. We just finished martial arts. I had to run and change because
Oh, I was.
I
Oh.
didn't want to, get my clothes dirty. Anyway,
It's good. Oh,
right? Nice little kick, right?
Ooh, sea moss.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just added some to the mayonnaise.
That's
You
so
know,
brilliant. You're so brilliant.
thank you. And I did it on the fly. I just thought about it, and I was like, "Ooh, that'll be a good idea." See, it's set, so it's nice
Oh
and
my
firm now.
God.
There's no sugar or anything in
I
there.
know, but
Just
ooh,
it's fresh.
it's amazing.
We're gonna dive into this world later on this month. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, we are fully loaded for the rest of the month in terms of classes, in terms of videos, all of that good stuff, streams that we're going to be doing.
So
Make
good.
sure you save your spot. Thank you very much. Make sure you click on save my spot. This way you will be alerted when I am going live and I am putting out these delicious demos for you. Okay. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you to be well, eat well, cook well, and I will see you on the next Everything Vegan channel. Guys, this way, please. Thank you so much. I'm a dad. I homeschool. So, of course, sometimes, they try it. And, when they try it, they think that I'm super focused here, but my peripheral is always on 1000. So I see them. They're trying to sneak and run around. I was like, "Huh!" Back downstairs. There you go. Anyway, this is Chef Dad Ed Harris, and I'm out of here. All right. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing something super tasty and we're doing something delicious. I believe it's soup in a jar, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Happy Tuesday.